Hey guys, it's Sean. This is DevLog 16. I've been working on the dialogue and job system for the NPCs. It feels pretty fleshed out. They can switch between different jobs easily with their own animations, and I cleaned up the combat state for NPCs. I fixed the bite point for zombies. As some of you probably noticed, the zombies don't really have an attack animation. They pretty much launch themselves at you with hitbox on the mouth, and if it hits the player, then the damage will occur. There was a problem with getting hit multiple times in one instance, so now there's a cooldown for the bite collider. And now for the suggestions. Rags and bandages. For this, I added two items, which are the rag and the bandage. The player can now craft rags from sheets. Then the player can craft a bandage from the rag. I also added a bleeding status for the player. This activates by chance when hit by a zombie and slowly reduces the player's stamina. Now the bleeding status can be removed once the player uses the bandage. Armor system. Now this got me thinking for a little bit. What kind of armor system would work best for this game? A regenerative shield, damage reduction, extra health? I thought about equipable armor sets where you can equip them and have damage reduction. Then I would have to add another armor system where you can equip them individually, but that would mean a lot more work for me. I wanted something simple and works well with the other mechanics in the game, so after a while I settled for a makeshift scrap braces. These scrap braces are crafted from rags and scrap metal, and they automatically equip to the player when crafted. So when the player is hit, instead of taking damage, one of the braces will break off. Once the player has run out of braces, then the player will then take normal damage. I figured this was the best armor system I could come up with, as it emphasizes on the player preparing themselves before heading out, and also making use of the crafting system. Zombie animation fix. This was a fairly simple one. I just edited the animation to raise the arms up a little higher. Shield throwing. Shields are now throwable. They pretty much work the same as a broken bottle, but with a shield. Weight system. I've been meaning to add the weight to items for a while now. Now there's a max carry weight and every item has its own weight. As of right now the weights aren't accurate, but I'll balance them out later on. Once the player has reached over the max weight limit, they will then get the encumbered status. When the player has the encumbered status, the player can still do things, but the stamina cost for sprinting is greatly increased. Stumbling hordes. All of the zombies do have their own ragdoll physics, so if they happen to bump into things or each other hard enough, they will fall. But I adjusted some values with the zombies as they generally try to pathfind around each other. With a few adjustments, they do bump into each other a lot more, causing them to fall over sometimes. Vehicles. I had tons of fun making this one, especially with the car hitting the zombies while drifting. Unfortunately, since areas are going to be relatively small, there's not going to be that many places to drive to, so I'm keeping this idea on the sideline. That's all for this devlog. There are a few suggestions I haven't gotten around to, but be sure to check out the next devlog to see if I address them. As always, I'm glad to see a lot of suggestions in the comment section. I like reading them, so comment what would you like to see, or if you have any cool ideas I can try out. But anyways, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.